Hello everyone, this is Genius Yoshi, and today we are done the round of 64. Your votes are in, and we have eliminated 3/4 of our candidates for the best card in Lorcana up until Ursula's return. So I'm going to go over all the rounds of results, show you how the voting went, and what my personal take on it would have been. Uh, Obviously, the community vote is what matters the most. But let's see if I would follow the community or take a left side pick here and there. Let's start with round 1, day 1, where we have Hook, Sisu, Goofy, and the Stylish Surfer duking it out. And half of the votes went to Sisu and Bolden Warrior, and that's also where my vote would have gone. There has been a lot of hype about Goofy when he was released, but he didn't pan out quite to the hype. Stylish Surfer essentially got replaced in Ruby Amethyst with Sisu, so Sisu wins round 1. Round 1, day 2 brings us a pretty close matchup where we have Mufasa and Flynn at 36-30% with just shy of 200 votes. And Cinderella and Ariel, Treasure Collector, did get a chunk of votes as well. Mufasa is definitely more fun, a bit more of the roulette feeling and just that feeling of awesomeness that comes with the car. But I think Flynn Rider Frenemy is my personal pick, simply because it's a powerful 2-drop that can win you games. And the cheaper the better. We make it to day 3 where we have the Fishbone Quill, Merlin Rabbit, Yensid, and the Queen. And the votes mostly went to Merlin Rabbit, core piece of Ruby Amethyst, with a fair chunk going to the Fishbone Quill. Actually, a surprisingly large amount. The Queen's still getting played in Amber Steel songs, right? But I agree with the community. Merlin Rabbit is a very powerful card. It's friends on the other side on the stick that can be Madam Mind again and again. Welcome to round 2. Round 1, day 4 brings us Jafar, the illusionist of Wombo Combo with Whole New World. Lilo, the prime 1-drop, Let It Go, just a solid removal spell still there. And Madame Medusa, the boss, winning it like a boss, and would also be my pick. Takes down Beast Tragic Hero in a tragic way, just a phone call away. As we get to round 1, day 5, the one thing that amazed me out of this voting is that not a single card got 0 vote. Every single card got at least a vote from one person. Now there's been some matchups that are a bit more of a landslide, but we did get a fair bit of good matchups. So thanks a lot to the community for voting. It's been a very fun time. So day 5 we have Ariel, Spectacular Singer. We don't talk about Bruno. Be King Undisputed, Cogsworth, the Resistance Clock. And I agree with the community. Ariel takes the win for that one. The ability to have Singer 5 sing Whole New World, Grab Your Sword, and the ability to pick up an extra card has proven to be very strong and is a centerpiece in Amber Steel. As we make it to day 6, where we have Smash, Popsicle, Belle, Strange But Special, and Merlin Goat. And here, Merlin Goat takes the win quite decisively, 55%, with the runner-up being Popsicle at 33%. I'm going to argue that Popsicle is the stronger card, and in my opinion by a fairly large margin, especially because of its interactions with Hiram Flaversham. Flaversham would not see as much play as he does if Popsicle wasn't there, and that Sapphire engine of combining a cheap healing item that can get sacrificed, can get eaten. For me, Popsicle is the treat, but community has voted for the goat. Gotta love those Merlins. We now make it to day 7, which I think has the card with the highest win percentage, with Maui Hero Doll destroying Morph, the McDuck Manor, and Ursula, Deceiver of All. Honestly, I thought this would be a lot closer between Ursula and Maui. I'm not sure. Well, I'm on the spot, so I'm gonna have to pick one, and I'm gonna pick Ursula, Deceiver of All. But I must say, include pretty much Maui in every single Ruby deck that I make, so I get it. It's a very strong card. I just think that Ursula, Deceiver of All has this I take over the game aspect to it, especially when combo with Let the Storm Rage On. She enables very powerful lines. So I'm going to vote Deceiver of All, but Maui takes a clean lead and is going to make it to the next round. We then make it to day 8. Bare Necessities are left behind as we go one jump ahead and get prepared for the Madame Mim Fox. Going very well with these Merlins, but here Be Prepared takes the win. I agree, it's between Be Prepared and Mim Fox. The thing is, Mim Fox can do so much. She's a hard removal spell for exerted characters. She comes out of nowhere with her rush. She allows you to reuse cards for ink. She allows you to reuse enter the battlefield ability. She's flexible. But then on the other side, you have Be Prepared. That's the one of a kind, I blow up everything, reset the board type of card. I think I'll agree with the community and go Be Prepared here, just because it's a reason for Ruby Amethyst to be a Ruby Amethyst. It allows you to come back from unwinnable positions and is unique in what it does. We now make it to day number 9, where we have Diablo the Devoted Herald, 60% of the votes for Lull Green Bird, and he was against tough competition with Let the Storm Rage On, Beast Tragic Hero, and Develop Your Brain somewhere on the side. Still got a vote. I don't know. Maybe I haven't played enough against the Devoted Herald, but in particular, Let the Storm Rage On is super effective against Flying type. My personal preference, though, would go to Beast Tragic Hero, because it's inkable, because it gives Steel that extra piece of card draw, because it's good even when it's damaged, and it's a must-answer threat. I think Beast Tragic Hero is going to be a mainstay for a long time. While the Devoted Herald can be played around, and the fact that he's uninkable is quite a liability. So my vote goes to the Tragic Hero, who tragically gets eliminated. Day 10, we have the so shiny Tamatoa, Mr. Smee, Baboom, that exploded, and Rapunzel winning it with 55% of the votes. I fully agree with Rapunzel. She's been one of my favorite cards since the first chapter, still is, and well deserving of that win. We then make it to day 11, and apparently I lied with that Maui at 76%, as we have a stronger winner here with A Whole New World taking down Hey Hey, Chernabog, and Lady Tremaine. A bit of a weaker competition here. Whole New World, double-sided Professor Oak, tons of card draw on a song, is a game-breaking card in itself, and very powerful effect, very unique effect. It clearly deserved the win there. Then make it to day 12, where we have Tinkerbell the Giant Fairy wreaking havoc since the first chapter against Ursula the Deceiver, the Ballroom Sensation, Mickey Mouse Detective. And I think all these cards are pretty powerful in their own right. Mickey Mouse Detective fallen a bit out of favor, and Ballroom Sensation not seeing as much play. But Ursula Deceiver is seen play in a lot of decks, and Tinkerbell is kind of getting pushed to the side simply because she just costs so much, and that's a downside. Now, I still really love my Tinkerbell. The fact that you can shift her, the enter the battlefield, the combat damage, the nice stats. So I'm going to vote Tinkerbell, but I think there's a solid argument to go with Ursula Deceiver, and I think longer term, Ursula Deceiver is going to become more impactful than the Giant Fairy. But I'm still voting for the original fairy. Then make it to day 13, where some of you are very adamant that Friends on the Other Side should win it, and it does, with over half of the votes. Against the monstrous dragon, Isma, scary beyond all reason, and that is pushing away voters, as it's only 1% of votes, lowest so far. And Grab Your Sword gets 24%. I think Grab Your Sword deserves a bit more here. Deserves to put up a fight against Friends on the Other Side. A one-sided, almost board wipe is pretty good. Then again, cards. Although Lorcana seems to be a game where we get to draw a lot of cards, with cards like Rapunzel, Beast, Tragic Hero, Friends on the Other Side. So eventually, as we're pushing more of these card draw cards, maybe it gets phased out. Then again, it's inkable, while Grab Your Sword is not, which has been trimming down Grab Your Swords in a lot of decks. All right, I'll agree with the crowd. Friends on the Other Side. That's it for round 13. Then we make it to round 14, where we have Benja, Lucky Dime, and then Bucky and Hiram Flaversham. Now, this would have been quite an interesting fight before the Bucky slaughter, where Bucky got nerfed into oblivion. Being nerfed into oblivion brings Bucky, well, almost out of the top 64 cards, to be honest. And the old Bucky could arguably have won it all. There's a reason why that card got banned. It was oppressive, it was powerful, and it was unfun. And part of it's the unfun, so maybe it would not have won it. It won the entire thing. But I'm glad it doesn't make it to the next round. We don't have to fight over it, as we have Hiram Flaversham at 67% of the votes. Very well deserving. One of the core pieces of Sapphire. Core pieces of Sapphire, and pretty much the only good draw engine in Sapphire that makes a lot of these decks run. So Flaversham, well deserving. We'll see you in the next round. Also my pick. This brings us to day 15, where we have the Queen's Castle, then along came Zeus, Robin Hood, Champion of Sherwood, and Kit, Cloud Kicker. The votes pretty much got split 2-1 in favor of the Queen's Castle against Robin Hood. I'm a little surprised by that. I expected Robin to get more votes, simply because just how omnipresent he was into the Inklands. It seems like every deck playing Steel was playing small Robin to big Robin, then you can shift it on turn 3 and take over the board presence. And that's still happening quite a lot. Still a strong card on its own, but it's really the shifting on turn 3 that makes it quite oppressive. Queen's Castle is the best location, and yeah, it's the best location by a fairly large margin. And it's pretty strong. It allows you to diversify your threats. I'm still going to vote Robin Hood. I think I favor him over the best location, but I understand the Queen's Castle winning it. It's card draw, it's lore, but it doesn't help you when you're behind. So I'm going to go with Robin Hood for the fact that it allows you to have this very strong line of defense, and the opponent has to respect the fact that you might be playing Robin Hood. And whenever the opponent has to respect specific cards and play around them, then these cards are very impactful. And really, it's chicken and egg type of thing, or Robin and play. You get the point. Let's move on to the next day. This brings us to day 16, which honestly is still ongoing, as I'm filling this only 10 hours after this has been that poll has been posted. So we're at 92 votes so far. I expect the voting to about double before this is done. So if you have a preference between Brawl and Cursed Merfolk, now is the time to speak, as I will be taking a second look to figure out which card is the winner before making that bracket in 4 days for that the round of 16. As for my favorite one out of those, I kind of really hate Prince John. Aerial Sonic Warrior is a lot of fun. Brawl is strong, but it's just a little too expensive. And Cursed Merfolk is really the staple. It's the new Lilo. It's a 1-drop 2-quester. It's going to be good for a long time because it has a drawback whenever it gets attacked. And there's no real good way around it. I think I'm personally going to give it to Cursed Merfolk. But Brawl's been tearing it up, and Brawl's inkable. I'm going to vote Cursed Merfolk, but I'll let you tell me which one is the actual better card through your voting. And these are my picks, and these are the results of the community voting for the best Lorcana cards in the first 4 set, in the first year of Lorcana. Who are we going to crown the champion? Well, I need your help, and I need your votes, as I'm going to be posting the round of 16 pairings against 4 cards at a time as we go from 16 to 4. And then I'll just post the pairings for the final 4. I'm going to give it at least 1 day for the last round. So it's going to be post, wait a day to make sure we have enough data on all of those, and then we'll post the final four on the last day. And then I'll be making a video summarizing the results and showing you who the grand winner is through community voting. So vote in large numbers, have fun. I hope you've had as much fun as I have through that first round and taking down these 64 combatants down to our top 16 picks. Maybe not the top 16 overall, because I mean matchups, but still, I hope that you're having fun with the brackets. And this is, I was going to say March Madness, but we're in July, so July Madness. As we wait for Shimmering Skies, that's going to be on our doorstep pretty soon. So again, hope you've had a great time. I wish you all a great day, and I'll see you next time.